You know I'm a hustler, hustler. You know I'm a hustler, hustler.
Welcome to Get Biz, Do Biz, Get Paid. I am your host, Luan the Don. In this show, we're going to interview successful business owners in construction and construction coaches. We're going to find out what it really takes to win in the construction industry. What it really takes to make a lot of money, have a great life, and be able to do the thing that you wanted to do. Enjoy. Hey, it's your boy Luan back again with another episode. Today, I have a very special guest. Yes, that we've been connected on social media for a while, but finally got a chance to connect. His name is Thibeau. He owned a marketing agency, doing pretty much almost everything and a little bit of sales training too. And is it Savant Marketing?
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Matt, welcome to the show, man. Tell a listener something that we might not know about you.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for having me on the show. Something that some people might not know about me is that I love mountain biking. So like anytime that I'm not working in the business or anything like that, I love being outdoors and mountain biking and having a great time.
So excuse me. What led you to marketing, man? Why marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was like younger, maybe around, I would say 17 years old, I actually wanted to do professional cycling as like a career. So I actually like created an entertainment business where we were doing like stunt biking for corporate companies. So that was something that was like a passion at the time. And I knew that I couldn't do it forever though, because, you know, my parents were like, you need to go to university, you need to get an education. You can't be like 40 years old doing bike tricks and blah, blah, blah. So, my parents were like, you need to go to university, but you need to pay for it. And I was like, oh, great. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I wasn't really an academic, so I didn't have the math grades to get into business. So I went into communications and media, which is kind of a marketing degree. And then while I was in that, my dad was really good friends with a guy who was like the only entrepreneur that I ever knew. And we went on a mountain biking trip together. And on that mountain biking trip was when I was exposed to basically an entrepreneur for the first time. And so his name was Steve, and I've never really met someone who was like successful before. I grew up really middle class. I never saw any like kind of success with like nice cars and stuff like that. And so on this mountain biking trip, I just saw just the way that he thought, like how he acted. And so eventually I just asked him, I said, what do you do, man? And he's like, I'm a marketing consultant. Like I work with, you know, corporate companies and we help grow their revenue and blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, but you ever get those moments where you kind of see something and then all of a sudden something clicks and you're like, I want to do that. And that was kind of the beginning for me of like my marketing journey. So I ended up working with Steve. He kind of took me under his wing, taught me a lot of stuff. And then from there, it kind of snowballed.
Wow, so that's interesting, man. You know, your story kind of like somebody took an interest in mentoring you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a blessing because most people we have to pay for that shit.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact that he took you under his wing show me that you had the willingness to ask for
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It wasn't like he was advertising it, right? I had to ask.
Yeah, right. It's just like, you know, you keep constantly bugging people, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Hey, the worst, the answer if you don't ask is always no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in marketing, I would call myself a marketer too, but I'm more like I'm not very technical. I'm more kind of like a soft stuff.
Mhm.
like the copywriting, the relationship,
Yeah, you're a great
the
copywriter.
and all that. But like SEO and all that, ad automation, I don't know anything about that shit. Right. So talk to me about what you do, man, in your agencies right now. I think that the goal, the final goal is to get engaged lead. But what you do before that,
Mhm.
all that before getting the engaged lead to your client.
Yeah, great question. So I'm actually really similar to you, man. To believe it or not, like if someone were to ask me like, how do you identify? I do not identify as like a techie person. I actually don't identify as a techie person. I am a marketing expert who can go into any type of media and apply marketing principles to be able to get the result. Now, obviously, over time, I've learned certain tricks to do with the tech to be able to optimize and get the best results possible. But I firmly believe if you are a marketing expert and you know the fundamentals, not just tactics, right? But if you actually understand the fundamentals, put me on TikTok ads, put me on Facebook ads, put me on whatever ads, Yelp ads, I don't know. I can figure it out because I understand marketing.
Mm,
So that's the first thing that I think a lot of people don't know is like understand the marketing first, right? But what we really do is we focus in mostly on Google ads and Facebook ads.
mm,
The reason that I like those two media sources is because they're opposites of each other. So Google ads, I call it pull marketing, where basically people are typing in, for you, it's like best decking contractor near
mm-hmm,
me or whatever. So we have a certain number of people per month who are searching through Google actively to find a solution to their problem. So all Google ads is like, great, you're searching for that. Let's make sure that you show up top for that in Google, right? This is something you're probably familiar with. But that's going to be expensive, right? Because to be able to get there, everyone wants to be there. Everyone wants to be top of Google. And so those leads are the most expensive. However, they're the most qualified, right? And so they're usually further down the buying cycle, so to speak. They know what they're looking for. Now it's literally just like, who can do the job for me, basically. And then we've got Facebook, which I call push marketing, where we're taking an ad. They haven't necessarily asked to see it, but we're taking an ad and saying, hey, look at this. Do you want this? Right? So we're pushing it onto them. So obviously the leads aren't going to be as qualified from Facebook, but we can get a high number of them to fill in the gaps sometimes when Google's a little bit slow. Because with Google, there's only so many people searching per month, right? If no matter how much you optimize your ad or how much you do, if 100 people are searching a month, that's how much we're dealing with. Whereas Facebook, we can just keep putting it on them to be able to drive up the lead flow, right? So that's mostly what we do on the traffic side to be able to get contractors an influx of leads coming through. And then on the back end, what I've realized though is like in the beginning, we would just do that and be like, here's a bunch of leads. But then what we realized on the back end was that a lot of contractors don't really know how to book appointments. They're used to referrals. They're used to people being like, hey, I want to work with you. Like they're used to people chasing them basically, right? And so what we've now added is a whole section of appointment setting, modules and training and coaching based around that to make sure that all the leads we're bringing them, they're actually like milking them for the most that they could or
mm,
squeezing out the most ROI, so to speak, from those leads.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's basically you hit the nail right on the head right there. With there's a lot of time that people tell me all the time, well, I don't have any leads, or I have a lead problem. I'm like, well, what's your lead intake process look like?
Hmm.
Are you implementing speed to lead?
Hmm.
Because if you don't, you're gonna lose a guy like me. Are you making sure that you set all the lead or try to set all of them, you know, before I would say 2 3 days, then those leads become colder,
Yeah.
colder, 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 right? Because somebody else probably already out there already sold the appointment, right? So our we have a lead handler just dedicated to handling lead.
That's
And
amazing.
you know, So what you're talking about is it make a lot of sense because I think only about 5% of people are on of the buyers are on Google.
Hmm.
And then it's the most highly competitive area too because everybody want Susan who's got a broken deck or got
Yeah,
a shitty exterior paint or whatever it is that they're looking for, right? Everybody wants Susan. So everybody is competing with each other
pretty much.
and then it make Google rich, but it's if you know how to price your stuff right, Google can be very, very lucrative,
Yeah.
right? And then talk to me about like how important is it for contractor to take marketing and lead handling seriously?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think if you have any interest in growing your company to the point where you're not the one doing all the work, right? Because most contractors, their lifestyle isn't sustainable. They got into that lifestyle because they love what they do. But then what happens is basically they start falling into the business basically because of how good they are, right? So it's like they get referrals, all this stuff. They didn't necessarily ask for like this business that has kind of grown on its own. And so they're kind of going into it and starting it with this mindset of like, okay, I guess like I'll be my own boss, I'll do all this stuff. But then they never really implement systems that can actually allow them to step out a little bit. And so I would say that marketing and sales systems is kind of like the key to unlocking really having a business work for you. Because once you have consistent work coming in, that's actually like ideal jobs that you love to do. Like I love that you guys are niched into decking and you're like, we're a decking company. So that requires though marketing systems, right? Like a lot of guys will just start taking on any kind of job they can because their business only relies on referrals. And so you're limited to the type of jobs you can actually get. So a lot of guys are scared to do what you're doing, where you niche yourself like that. And so once you actually do dial in the marketing and sales, now you've got all this business coming in and people who wanting to work with you. Well, now it's just the opposite problem. Now it's like, cool, let's hire people, bring people in to help with the production. And eventually that allows you to step out of the business, maybe sell the business, do whatever you want with it, right? So
Mm,
sales and marketing to me is really the key for freedom.
mm, so good, man. Uh, so back when I was working in a casino, the only thing that I bonus on is new business. It's not the current business that they already got locked in, right? It's a new business that I make my bonus on because, we at marketing, we are judged and for growth,
Yeah.
not maintaining, for
Yeah.
growth. So I know that to be able to make that money, I have to grow the sector of the business. So now translate it into construction. I know that for people to come work for me, I gotta have jobs,
Yeah.
to hire. And the best hiring tools is your CRM. Hey man, this many job I got. Are you gonna come work for me or
Mm,
not? Because people want their plate full. They don't want to go work for somebody that's like, oh, I might have a job for you today, but I might not have shit for you
that's
tomorrow.
true.
Like we as business owner, we have to be the steady hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
of people. And then you can't be a steady hand if your lead flows are shit and your deal flows are shit. Because the one time that you tell your employee or your subcontractor or your vendor that, hey, I might not have work for you next week. You know
Yeah.
what that gonna does? It's gonna bring down your whole business because now you strike fear
Mm,
into people's mind, right? So I think I would rather have twice as much leads that I need. Now that's just me. Other people they can agree or disagree because if you have twice as much lead that you need, your sales guy have have less than twice the pressure to close.
It's true.
And then when you sell like you don't need it, that's when you get it.
That's so true. Yeah.
But when you sell like you like, I need this deal
Yeah,
today.
you're needy. Yeah.
Like nobody gonna give money to the beggar, you know. So having a lot of lead, then to in my experience, you can sell for the position of power.
For sure.
You know, you can be the buyer when you're the seller.
Yeah.
You know, I think Dan Kennedy or whoever it is
Oh,
say,
nice. Yeah, you know, Dan.
always be the buyer.
Yeah.
You know, in the transaction. So to me, you know what you do is Facebook ads and Google ad. Those are those are those are the front end, right? But the money is made from the back end.
Yeah.
The money is made from the back end.
For sure. I think something too that we do that's pretty unique that not a lot of marketers do is that there's a lot of marketing companies that will just be like, here's leads, like just here's some of these leads. But the problem is that those leads don't have any affinity to your brand either on the front end. So
Mm,
like there are some models for marketing companies where they've got this website that's like generating all these leads, but the website is not branded to your company and it doesn't create any desire for you to like work with you, right? And so a lot of marketers will be like, well, here are these leads, but then you talk to them and they have no idea who you are, what your company is all about, blah, blah, blah. So a really important step that we do before any kind of ads or anything like that is positioning. So it's like, great. First off, like, what's the niche that we're going to focus on to make you an
mm.
expert? Even if someone comes to us and they're a GC and they say, yeah, Matt, I want painting, I want flooring, I want kitchens, I want bathrooms and basements and roofing and blah, blah, blah. I say, okay, man, what's the one thing you're doing right now that makes you the most amount of money that you enjoy doing? And that is taking up a lot of the work that you're already doing anyway. And they'll be like, oh, baths, like bathrooms. Great. Well, let's just focus in on that and let's brand you first as like a bathroom expert, at least on the front end. Maybe on the back end, you can take some other stuff or whatever, but on the front end for this campaign, let's just focus on bathrooms. You know, and it's like, let's get a bunch of pictures, nice before and after pictures that really showcase what you can do for bathrooms. And let's get some video testimonials of people talking about you renovating their bathroom. And then let's create an offer that's based about, you know, the quality. Like we like to do extended warranty offers. And so all this stuff is creating this positioning. So then when we take that and we run ads, then that's going to obviously get a lot better results, right?
Yeah. So what ad is it it needs to be specific and targeted. And
Mm-hmm.
and uh the way I like to do targeting is just dial into the service that you do. So I even go in as far as like your name gotta communicate what you do,
Mm-hmm. I
right?
agree. Yeah.
Because if you don't, and this is and people have pride, people have ego, you know. But really, if you in this to make money, the name itself is a marketing tool,
Mm-hmm.
right? Dak, bro, you know I do Dax. You're not gonna call me for fans. Or or I got somebody else that do Dax. Their last name construction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, you missing a perfect opportunity to make an impression on your client. So now they might
Absolutely.
call you for fans because you construction, right? You gotta do something else. Do you build roofs too? So it's unclear messaging
Yep.
then lead to problem down the funnel, right? But if your name were to be, oh shit, if you want to put your last name on there, fine. Hey, Smith Deck. That will still work better than Smith
It's
Construction
better. Yeah.
because the construction they put it on there because of scarcity mindset. They're
Yeah.
afraid that they're gonna run out of that job to
That's what we've
do.
been talking about. Yeah.
and so they put construction on there because in downtime I can go take this over there, take that over there.
Exactly.
But but if you do that, you're creating a little area over here because people are going to talk, right? Now, all of a sudden, in the future, you're going to get people calling you for a bathroom that you did,
Yeah.
people calling you for the kitchen that you did. Oh, I don't fucking want those jobs anymore. Well, you probably should change your name, right? So the thing that I always highly encourage people to do is niche down and make your name communicate what you do, which is what you're doing for your client,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's hard for you. You can't tell people to change their business
No,
name.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can. I tell you, fucking dumbass, change your business name. If you want to be a deck guy, then change your name to do decks.
Yeah.
You don't have to get rid of your last name. I'm not telling you to do that. You know,
I
uh,
agree.
so
Yeah, a lot of the time too, it's like we'll get a client where they're kind of starting their business. Maybe they're in their first like 2 years or whatever. And because they didn't have marketing and sales systems dialed in, they just started doing everything. So like we had one client where he was a hardwood floor specialist. Like when he started his business, he was like, I'm a hardwood floor guy. But then the economy started slowing down a little bit. So he started doing handyman work. So like we were talking on the phone, he's like, yeah, man, like I started doing like a lot of handyman work just to fill the gaps with my crew and keep my guys paid. And so when we're working together, I have to like reversal that shit. Like I have to be like, okay, man, let's go back to the hardwood because that's what you want to do. We're not turning you into a handyman. You know what I mean?
right,
So it's like we
right,
have to like do damage control sometimes because he changed his website to list out all this handyman shit, and it's like we have to put it all back.
right.
Yeah.
And I think that it's an ego thing, man. Some like business owner have their self-worth tied into the name brand, and
Mm.
sometimes it's hard to work that. I was just talking to a guy on a Facebook group. He was having problem with people calling and it's all spam and it's
Okay. Yeah.
all small job, not what he wanted to do. And then he was thinking about shutting his phone number, taking his number out of Google My Business, just so he doesn't
So painful.
just listen to this, just so he doesn't get the phone call. So the only way they can come to contact him is to the form. And I'm just like, I'm scratching my head. So I'm like, okay, let's think logically here. So I went in and did a little research on him. So his company name is Handy Solution
Yeah.
Bathroom and Kitchen Specialist. Handy Solution Bathroom and Kitchen Specialist. So all the problem he went, man, all I got is from the phone is some handyman job. I'm like, well, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
Your name is Handy Solution. That's
Yeah.
mean cheap. That's mean handyman. So
I
that's
know.
do you want to do kitchen and bath? Hey, kitchen and bath solution. Boom. Kitchen and
Exactly. Yeah.
oh no, that's a long-term game. Like I'm trying to work with whatever the resources. I'm like, you don't have any resources right now. Your name is Jack.
Yeah.
Your name is Jack. It's like I don't know if you're the handyman. I don't know if you the no, it's handyman solution renovation kitchen and bath specialist.
What?
So it's like I don't know if you're a handyman. I don't know if you're a renovator. I don't
Yeah.
know if you're a bathroom guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a kitchen guy. Tell me exactly what you do. And my God, if you do that, magic. All of a sudden you get kitchen lead only. All of a sudden you get bat lead only.
Yeah.
So those kind of things, just like, people try to accommodate the problem instead of fixing the problem.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I've had, I've actually kind of been like criticized sometimes for making posts like that because I'll be like, if you're doing remodels, don't call yourself a handyman. Like sometimes we'll get people who are like, hey, I want more, I'm a handyman, I want more kitchens and stuff. And so we have that exact conversation where I say, well, dude, like you're kind of effed because like the name of your company, I associate it with cheap. Like you can never take Smith's handyman service and make that like a super high end. You're always going to be struggling with that. Like the branding's off.
Yeah,
But
so
anyway, yeah.
important. So important, man. So you do that, you do a little bit of sales training for people, you do a little bit of appointment setting for people. Um, so then all they have to do is show up and close, right? And that's what else you want, right?
Yeah. It's funny though, man, because the amount of like pushback sometimes on the appointment setting process that I'm teaching will be the stuff that you're talking about, where it's like, oh, well, man, like if they're a really serious lead, they'll go to my website and like fill out the form. Like I only
Oh,
want the serious leads. I only want a serious buyer. And it's like, dude, they don't know you. They don't know who you are.
so my philosophy is this is why it's happening, right? Most of these guys are trade guys. They want to dump the price as soon as possible because they want to eliminate tie kickers. But in my opinion, as you know, there's no tie kicker. If
Mhm.
they want what you do, if what they want is what you do, it's a perfect match. If they're a homeowner, even better, that's a perfect match. If there's two decision maker, that's a perfect match. And I'll even go as far as selling one leg or two. I've done that before. But if they want what you do, they are good fucking leads.
Yeah.
I like they want a deck and I build decks. Am I gonna turn down that business? No. Well, you got pre-qualify them based on price. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my mankind. Why? You don't know their current situation.
Yeah.
You don't know how much they can afford. And you
Yeah.
don't have the time to educate them what it's really going to take to get the job done,
Yeah.
right? And to me, that's laziness. That's just pure laziness, not wanting to go out there, spend a little time with the client. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta say no, and that's just sales, bro. Like
Yeah.
they cannot take the reject. Oh man, it's just not a tie kicker. How about you just bad at sales? You ever think that? Uh, you ever think that you bad at sales? Because if you don't want to go out there, chances are you have a bad experience dealing with people that not serious.
Right.
So so assumption, man, assumption kills because you
Hmm.
assume that he's live in a bad neighborhood. All of a sudden he
Hmm.
doesn't have money. Dude, I sell deck in the hood at my price because I'm the only one who show up out there.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of when I hear tire kicker or like not serious, to me, really what it means is they're just earlier in the buying cycle, right? Like I like to explain to contractors this concept of a sales cycle, right? It's like there's people at the top. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. We got a funnel, right? So if you picture it, it's like we've got people at the top and then it goes down and it's like this funnel. So the way that I explain it to our clients is at the top of the funnel, we want the most amount of leads to come through there. We want to fill that pipeline with as many deals as possible that are related to the work that you do, right? So let's say it's decks. Okay, we got all these decking leads. Great. Then we need to have a system to actually bring them through and maybe qualify them a little bit deeper, right? So we've got an appointment setter, someone who calls them up. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone on your team, and they bring them through the process, right? But during that time on the phone, we don't really want to be talking about price, these kind of things. This is what we teach, right? So it's like what you were saying, a lot of the time people will say, oh, this is like what I'm looking for in terms of price or whatever. Our mutual friend Brian Diamond told me a story about how his wife was getting a quote for an addition on his house and she had a number in his mind in her mind, and then the contractor what like informed her of what it actually cost, and then she was like, oh wow, I'm shocked by that. And so he said even his own wife you know, it doesn't mean that she's not going to move forward with the project, but it just means like you need to educate them during this whole process, right? So anyway.
Yeah. I got I got a story too. I'm the only one in town that run repair leads
Okay. Yeah.
because nobody's doing it, and chances are you're the only one that out there doing repairs.
Yeah.
And it serves a good funnel for you too. You know, cheap lead, not kind of, and most of the time they need a new deck.
Yeah.
Most of the time they want to repair, but what they actually need compared to the ROI is that they need a new deck, right?
Yeah.
So we love repair lead, and I love the lead that is like, well, I call this place and their voicemail say they won't do anything under 10,000. So fuck them, you know, can you come out and take a look at my deck? You know, boom, $23,000 deal site, boom, $33,000 deal site.
Really, eh? Like what I'd be really curious, what's your conversion on these repair leads to actually get a new deck? I'm really curious.
We haven't really tracked that
Yeah.
yet, but I think this year I want to start tracking. You know, repair lead had a high conversion rate to and if it's not, you know, I'll do a repair. If it's not, like sometime it's a repair. But
Yeah.
sometime if their stairs broken, if their shit look like shit underneath there, you can
Yeah.
repair it. But then 4 or 5 years later, you have to repair all the stuff. So when you present the number to people, it's like, you know what? Just give me a new fucking
Yeah.
deck.
The
You know?
other cool part about that though is like let's say that you know they have a barbecue like you redo the repair, the small repair, and then let's say they have a barbecue or something and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we got our deck repaired by Deck Bros." Like at
Mhm.
least the name is out there. Like people are hearing it. Deck Bros, oh, they repaired my deck, they did this. Like you're just building the association to decks in my opinion.
Yeah, and one other thing is and this is the mindset that a lot of people need to adopt. You pay for the lead.
Mm-hmm.
The leads cost money, you know, and you bet your ass I'll make something out of it.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's SEO, they think it's free organic. Damn, somebody running your SEO,
Yeah.
somebody answering the phone. There's overhead associated to everything that you do. So
Yeah.
every phone call that come into your business that you don't respond to, it's money out of your pocket.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so the leads are like Bible, bro. Like leads are like you gotta treat the lead right because that's an opportunity. And I get so mad at people for turning away opportunity, good opportunity too.
Yeah.
Like if you pre-qualify based on price per se, then you don't get the chance to go out there and make a true connection. You're not being a go-giver. Oh,
Yeah.
if you pay me $500, I'll come out there. You know, like if you're good at sales, you could probably do that. If you got a good brand, you can probably do that. If you got too many leads coming in that you just could not handle, you could probably do that. But these guys are doing it. They don't have any lead coming in. They're small
Yeah.
time contractor. And at this stage, I would make, excuse me, I would make it a point to go out and see everybody. And you know what that does? It sharpen your sales skills.
For sure.
You know, and sales is everything, man. And then if you have financing, go see everybody. If you have
Yeah.
financing, go see everybody. Because what's the most common objection you hear?
Yeah. Price.
I don't have the money.
Yeah.
Waiting for the paycheck to get in. You know, I have another project that I need to get done in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 85% of the objection is money.
Yeah.
So if you have money in your hand, go out and see them sold for the money.
Love it. Yeah. I would like to give some just like good practical advice because I think that there's probably some contractors who are listening to this who are like, oh, like, you know, I want to experiment with ads or I want to experiment with like, you know, social media marketing, that kind of stuff. So is it cool if I kind of just give
Yeah,
some practical advice too, that someone listening to this, they could just like give it a shot?
go ahead, man.
Yeah, cool. So right now, what we find that works really well for Facebook ads are typically before and after pictures and pictures like action shots.
Mm,
Because a lot of contractors, they'll be like, "Hey Matt, I just created my first Facebook ad. What do you think?" And
mm,
I shit you not, it'll literally be a picture of a guy's business card, and then
mm,
he's running that as an ad. So it's like, I'm like, dude, like, here's how you create a good ad. The ad is broken down into several different parts, but this is really all you need to know. The first
mm,
is the picture.
mm,
Videos are good. We do videos for ads and stuff, but I would recommend just start with pictures. So the best pictures you could use, before and after pictures, and make the before and after picture really good. We
mm.
actually have a training on how to take good before and after pictures because it's so important. So, so like the before picture, um you want it to look like kind of crappy. You don't want the before picture to look better than the after picture. Some guys will show us the after picture, and I'm like, man, the before looked better. So you want it to be a good transformation. The other type of picture is the action shot. This is really good if you're like a painter or something like that, like a picture of you like painting or with your team, stuff like that. Those types of pictures work really well. Next, on the actual copy of the ad, like you want to call someone out for who they are, right? So I always like using an if then statement in the Facebook ad. So I always do, if you're looking for deck services, if you're looking to replace your deck, then we're the team for you. If you're looking to replace your deck, then read this ad. I always like to do that. And just that simple line at the top, it's going to pull people in from your ad, right? And then the last thing on your ad is just tell people what you want them to do. Like sometimes at the bottom, it's like you put all this work into this ad, and at the very bottom, you'll say something like, and we were talking about this, where you'll say something like, yeah, if you're interested, don't hesitate to reach out. And it's like, how do I reach out? Do I call you? Do I go to your website? Where is your website? What's your phone number? What do I do? So,
So have a good pictures,
yeah,
before and after, or have an action shot,
yeah,
or have or have a good catching headline and a good call to action on the
yeah,
bottom, right? Yeah, that's so funny you say that because I have Facebook ad running right now, and the best ad is not the picture of a polished deck. The best ad is just some guy swinging the hammer, right? Right?
yeah,
I kid you not. It's just like, a guy in that bro shirt, swinging the hammer,
exactly.
putting some nails in, showing that you're actually doing the work, and and then we test our variety of copy, and those tend to, and video doesn't do as good as you
It
think it
doesn't
is.
work that as well.
Because Facebook is like people want that quick hit, right? You
Yeah,
know, they see the picture, they might glance at it, look at it, but but if they see a guy talking, we try that, and video ad doesn't do it. That's good.
no, video ads don't work as well. We actually had a client who, well, at least right now, at the current time of this podcast, who knows in like a couple of years, but we had a client who spent all this money on this fancy video. So I think it was like 3K, 5K on like a video and like, testimonials in it, video, like him speaking, blah, blah, blah. Hired a local guy and he's like, hey guys, I want to run this as an ad. So we ran it side by side with some of our other ones. It bombed, bro. And guess the one that worked is him and his team. They're in their shirts and they're just on a roof and they're just like hanging out on the, because he's a roofer, and they're just like hanging out on the roof. And it was like just this shitty picture taken on an iPhone. That's the winning ad. And it's like, we don't know until we run it. A lot of contractors will ask us, like, do you think that this would make a good ad? Do you think that? I'll be like, I think so, but like, let's try.
And this is what I tell people uh, to when and just for listening, nobody knows until you put it out there in the market.
Pretty much.
Nobody freaking knows,
Yeah.
and maybe you can speak on this. Like, What's a good offer look like, man? What's a good offer? Why is it important to have offer into your ad? And I know, me and you go back and forth on this a little bit, and maybe you can shed some light on why having an offer is better than, hey, we do patio next, blah 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 blah. Go to schedule in spring.
Mhm.
Why is having an offer better than some generic shit like that?
Yeah, I love that question. This is kind of what I think that we specialize in. So first thing, you mentioned it earlier, specificity, really important, right? You want to be able to tap into someone's mind. If they have something on their mind, they cannot process like vanilla generic messaging, right? So if someone is looking for a deck to be done, the word construction is kind of close to that, but it's not, doesn't tap into someone's like zombie brain as they're scrolling, right? We need to remember the environment that these people are going through, right? So they're scrolling through mindlessly. If they're thinking of getting their deck done, then we want to use the word deck. So specificity, really important. In terms of the offer, why it's really important is that we need to stand out from everyone else. And a lot of contractors think the only way to stand out is price. So a lot of the time in their ad, they'll think to themselves, well, I need to run some kind of promotion to get people's attention and push people over the edge. And because in their world, the type of clients they work with, and maybe from their own conditioning, they think that discounts are kind of the only type of leverage they can have. So oftentimes when we're speaking to a prospect like a contractor who wants to work with us and they ask us for a discount on our services, I know intuitively that they're discounting their services because that's just the world that they live in, which is kind of interesting. But I never recommend to run a discount in your marketing, and here's why. For several reasons. If you're running a discount for a specific time period, like Black Friday, whatever, that's a whole different story because we have an excuse to run that discount and it's not running indefinitely. But if you're just running an indefinite discount on your ads to get people over the edge, $250 off your next painting project. We only have 10 spots left. I see a lot of marketers do this kind of bullshit. But then they'll run that ad for like a year. Well, what all that's doing is the same people are seeing that ad over and over again, and you're creating distrust with your brand. People know what you're doing, they're not stupid. And then also, you're devaluing your brand because now you're attracting people in from your ad who are price conscious. So these people are searching for like who could do this project at a good price, and then they see that you're offering this money off. So now all you're doing is just attracting the wrong type of person into your company. So what we do instead is we think to ourselves, okay, if I'm going to invest in a deck that's $20,000, I want it to last. And so something that we like to do are offers like warranty offers, because a lot of the time a contractor will go back anyway. Like a lot of contractors we talk to, they say, oh, I don't really get any callbacks. And if we do, even if it's like a couple of years after, I will go back and like make sure it's all good if it was our fault. So it's something that contractors are doing anyway. So we kind of just communicate that in a value-based offer. Another example would be like if you're a painter, interior painting, we like to do free color consultations because what that's doing is it's adding value instead of discounting. Most painters are doing a color consultation in their process anyway. So all that we like to do is just take what are you doing already for free, and then let's separate that and create an offer out of it, but it's something you're already doing anyway. So it's just a perception game.
Yeah, I think offers are extremely important. To be honest, I hate sales. I want people to be convinced already before I
Mhm.
go into the appointment. And we do that by creating an irresistible offer, right? So we test our offer all the time, but the one that's hot right now is inflation.
Mm.
It's
Like
create
lock
a
in your prices? Yeah.
yeah. Why wait until spring? Why wait until summer? Get your deck done right now. Beat inflation.
Mm.
At no cost out of your pocket financing. So
Mm.
all of that is like we're not telling them it's going to be cheaper. We're telling them it's cheap right now.
Yeah.
Is because in the future, if people have been thinking about it, because deck cycle, people think about doing a deck and they think about it for years, and then and they might think of it for another year if they didn't see this message on Facebook.
Yeah.
What a thing that caught my eye. You say it's going to be cheaper right now than in the spring. That's why we reach out. Our December sales is 1/10 of our revenue. We did like 500,000 in December, supposing a slow month, right? Offer that offer, because people are afraid that in spring shit's gonna be more expensive, and it
Yeah.
is. It is, and this works because it's true.
Yeah.
It's what's happening around the country. Your egg is more expensive. Your fucking, everything else is more expensive. So what is construction gonna do? They're gonna raise their price. And
Yeah.
and I highly encourage anybody that in construction, raise your price right now. Because right now people are impressed. People are price impressed by all this inflation going on. Perfect time to raise price. Perfect
Because they're
time
kind of
to
expecting it almost now,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, but if you don't, you're gonna get left behind because the suppliers are raising price, your vendors are raising price, everybody, and it's slowly creeping up. Why don't you just get ahead on top of it and just raise your price? You
Good
know,
tip.
so most of the time it's like right now that's a great offer for us. And then in spring we change it to another offer. We rename that offer. Hey, maybe in America it's Memorial Day. It's graduation. Graduation, July 4. So then we're gonna hit that with that offer. Hey, get your deck done before so you can enjoy blah 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 with your
Yeah.
family. And people like to show off. People like to show off, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Keeping up with the Joneses.
they're gonna get the deck done, or they're gonna get their house painted. So their son graduation, and everybody is graduating. There's a kid in every family, and that at graduation time we're doing a fuckload of business off of graduation. So
That's cool.
that's an offer to target a specific type of buyer, right? But you have to be able to deliver it on time. If
Yeah.
not, like you're gonna get a bad review. So before you run it, don't, Lord, you ruined my business. Man, Lord, I never listen to you again. Disclaimer, make sure you can do it on time. Okay,
True.
because this is a timing offer, right? And then there's July 4, there's Memorial Day, there's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. So you wanna, when I build my offer, I want to find something personal and emotional. So I want my offer to sell on its own. And then when it's come time when I show up, do you have money or not? Or do we have to look at financing? Or
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to do is it's make the sales guy as an order taker almost. Because when and then that's what you're trying to do is to make the sales guy just show up and take order. And then sometimes you can't take the order, but if you can do it 1 hour for, that's pretty good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, man,
Solid.
I can geek out on this stuff all day, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree completely.
So what advice do you give do you give a contractor right now when it's slow time? What advice do you give them to best prepare them for the upcoming season?
Great question. Yeah, I would say like if you have some extra time on your hands right now, then just start getting organized with your marketing assets so that you can really hit the ground running when you do like when it is time. So the first thing is like now's a great time if it's slow for you, then start collecting testimonials that maybe you've been slacking on, your Google reviews. Like
Mm,
start calling up clients and saying, hey, like, we'd love to get a review from you, blah, blah, blah. Start
mm,
creating a Google Drive folder of all your best pictures, just so it's all organized and you have that all there.
mm,
Um, Maybe start practicing a little bit of your appointment setting process. Like if you don't have any kind of process or script or anything like that, then like maybe start practicing that. Anytime you have downtime is a really good time to work on the business. And the
mm,
best time that you could do that is when things are a little bit slower. Now, if you're in the stage right now where you're like, okay, I need to drum up business, then the best thing to do, I would say, is call back your previous customers, and because they've already worked with you, and say like, hey, we have a little bit of a window in our work schedule right now. I was wondering if you needed anything done around the house. Like if you're a painter or something like that, that would be great. Always going back into your previous customer base is great. We do something as well for clients on a quarterly basis where we'll do a reactivation campaign. So we'll go to their old pipeline and we'll send an email that basically pulls people back out from their pipeline, ghosted leads, people that have slipped through the cracks, whatever. You want to be able to follow up with them, right? So that's what I would look at.
mm, mm. Man, if I can add one thing to this, it's build a relationship with your past client.
Hmm.
Maybe now it's time to send out handwritten letters thanking them for all the business they given you past a year. Just a nice gesture. So
Hmm.
what we do something in our business is we do a top of mind awareness program,
Hmm.
which is I'll pick like of course they gotta meet the certain criteria. I'll pick like the top 200 client. I'll send them a gift every quarter
Nice.
without asking anything, right? And there's some people that they ask for referral, they ask for a bunch of stuff, but I just send them gift continuously because these people will owe me something. Now they
Hmm.
act as my brand ambassador. So every time somebody type in, hey, Matt, say Matt, you're looking for a deck or you're looking for somebody to paint your house. The first thing you do is you're gonna go to Nextdoor app and Facebook group because it's the neighborhood, right? You're gonna ask, hey, looking for a painter, looking for that guy, who you got? And now what happened is people that have used me already and they got the gift from me, they will go out there and they will be my best advocate.
Yeah,
So that's create a brand impression
for
point.
sure.
And then if you do that enough time, now that bro is the de facto guy for that. But I'm not out there typing my name out in every Facebook. I don't have to do that,
Yeah,
right? So that is has helped us tremendously in because once the gift drop, what I do is I wait about 2, 3 weeks after I run an offer to capture that attention.
oh, that's cool.
I run an offer to capture that attention because now it's hot. That road name is hot, hot, hot.
Yeah,
And to capture that attention, and then from that attention, I convert them into deals. And I think our marketing cost is only about 3%, bro.
yeah,
But to be able to do that, you have to, like you said, you have to understand offering,
yeah,
marketing, customer buying journey. Because right now, I kid you not, people make and the people that make decision is not the man, it's the woman, it's the moms group,
for sure.
military moms group. You want to be famous in those group without yourself being in there per se. And you don't have to send gift, right? Handwritten notes, handwritten thank you. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah,
You nobody. But if you can do that, say, hey, Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for being such a good client. I had such
yeah,
a good time working with you. And please let us know how else we can be a blessing to you. Boom, sigh, owner, boom, send it. Like You don't even need a gift. Like the gift, I do it just because like we deal with high ticket, so they would appreciate something more. But if your budget don't allow, send handwritten letter. Call the
Yeah.
motherfucker up. Say, hey, did you get that letter I sent you? Did you get the letter I sent you?
Yeah.
How's you enjoying your deck right now? Oh man, it's so great. Hey, you know any chance that we can you know a few people that can benefit from having a conversation with me? Would you care to make an introduction? Yeah, yeah. Boop 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 boop. Enter to
Yeah.
the CRM. That's two new lead right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's this is there's a lot of competition, but it's also once you start doing this stuff, there's not a lot of competition when you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people are doing the bare minimum, I would say.
Yeah, because that's why I say most of the money, 80% of the money is made from the back end. You get the
Absolutely.
lead, you get the deal, but if you have a good client experience and you have a good product, you get referral. And when you get to that point, then you can weaponize referral, make it predictable almost. So what I'm doing is very holistic. Send gift, run ad, capture the attention. And by then, when I set the appointment, people already have about 7 to 10 impression point on our brand. So that's just a little nugget that I like to add. Sorry, man.
The Don dropping some bombs.
And you can ask Brian this, like I hate sales. I will say it again. I hate sales. But that's why I do so much stuff on the front end. Just so when I show up, I don't have to sell.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a saying, I think it was Dan Kennedy, maybe it was like, yeah, like great marketing makes sales unnecessary, you know?
Damn, that's a meme right there, bro. That's a meme right there. Great. And I think you listen to Naval.
No.
Rivercamp, he say you only sell if you don't know how to market. You only market if you don't have a good product.
I like it.
Yeah, so in essentially a good product sell itself, but to be able to execute this, like you have to do good work.
Yeah,
Your work cannot be shit. Your communication has to be on point.
definitely.
Your client has to have a good experience, and then it makes your job easier. You
Yeah.
know, you can't market a shit product. I tell people that all the time. If I pull up your Google My Business profile and you got 4.2, well, motherfuckers, better start calling for some motherfucking review, dog. You got like 4.2, ain't nobody gonna call you. No, that's
Yeah.
that.
We're dealing with some guys who are at like three and we've got to work on. So, yeah.
Like tell your friend, I don't care. Just get the review up, up, up.
Yeah.
In the roofing world, this is I might adopt this in my business. The roofer, they ask for a review even when they didn't get the job.
Oh, that's interesting.
Even when the motherfucker didn't get a job, they'll
Hmm.
be like, "Hey, do you have a like when they go up on the roof and there's nothing, there's couple single missing, but they can take care of it right away. It's not a full roof replacement. Hey, you mind if I did you enjoy our experience
Yeah. Like the
today?
consultation and all that. Yeah.
Did I treat you with respect? And most people, if you do the sale process, yeah, yeah, yeah. Love what you're doing. It's just not that way. So would you care to give us a review detailing your experience today? Some of these guys have like 600, 700 review, and
Yeah.
I know for damn sure they didn't do 600 or 700 job, but that to Google is still a 5-star review.
Yeah.
So they ask review for the people who did not get the job. So how can you get to that point? Because roofing is very competitive,
Yeah.
especially storm chasing, right? So these are the things that's gonna edge them out. But what if we can take that and implement into the general contracting, even if you didn't get the job, get a review from them? How cool would that be?
Yeah.
So now you going out see a lead, it's not a it's not a wasted lead if you didn't sell it. You still got a review from them.
Yeah, that's
I
great.
thought that was so cool, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Like that's but only there's the only a few and far in between guy that does that though. So what else you have to add, man?
I mean, I think that's mostly like what I wanted to touch on today is just talking about, yeah, just the importance of lead flow and having a great positioning and brand, and then just having a good appointment setting process on the back. I think if you have those things in place, you won't have a sales problem. And then your only issue will be keeping your team happy, making sure that you're growing your team enough to like fulfill that. And then once you figure out your lead gen process and your sales process, then it just becomes a fun game of being like, great, how many sales do we want this month? Because ultimately, what you want to get to and what we teach our clients is you want to know your numbers.
Hmm.
So you want to get to the point where you know this many leads equals this many estimates equals this many sales. And most contractors don't know those numbers. But once you do know those numbers, it's actually really fun. And that's kind of like what we've been doing in our company now is like we know the numbers like now really well. And now we're running ads and everything for acquiring clients and such. And so it's like once you know the numbers, then it just becomes a question of like, how much do we want to go? How much can our team handle right now, et cetera. So anyway,
Yeah.
it's fun.
When you play the percentage, you always win. You might
Yeah.
not win all the time, but you always win. Even if you have a shit close rate, right? It's
Yeah.
11%. So just play off of that.
Yeah.
And then we can improve the close rate. So when I go in and I look at people, when I look at people pipeline, it's like, most of the time it's not even a sales problem. Most of the time it's a set
Setting
problem.
problem. Yeah.
The set rate atrocious. I'm like, oh, you have a 97% closing rate, but you disqualify 80% of your lead.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the percentage of raw lead converted to deals.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Raw lead to deals. Because close rate is bullshit, right? Like how many leads did you set?
Yeah.
So we implemented what's called automation. So every time a lead coming out to ecosystem, even if somebody forget to set them, our system will send the email out and the
Oh,
text
that's cool.
a day out, say, hey, do you have any question? And the client be like, no, I just want to quote. And then we know we fucked up.
Yeah.
We know we fucked up. We call that motherfucker and we
Yeah.
said
That's
it,
good.
so it's remove the human error.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something if you haven't implemented
I like
w-
that.
with your client. So we have so every time it's called, it populate data in the CRM, and then if they don't set it, the system will
Yeah.
bother the
We'll
lead
send an
until
email.
so opportunity created. We just got your request. We'll call you back immediately, whatever. And then if we forgot to call them, the next day will be an email. What's the real cost of hiring a service? And the next day, if the lead handler still didn't call, hey, Tiffany, do you have any specific question about a deck building or repair service? Also, check out this document on what really to expect from the professional deck builder. And then if I hear not, if we still didn't call, next day, hey, did you get my message? Next day, hey, we're about to close your request out. Did you get my message? But we don't stop. We still keep going. Hey, a new deck is the one of those. So we just keep adding value, right? And then, hey, man, I just want somebody to come out here and give me a quote. When they respond, pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Boom,
Whoa.
bro. Bro, like they can't escape me because the way I think about it is you raise your hands, bro. You
Yeah.
raise your hand, say you need help, and I'll make damn sure I'll give you the help you need.
Yeah.
Hell,
Or at least have
how
a discussion with you about the help that you need. Like we're not just gonna let you disappear into no man's land.
right? And then I have only hear one person bitch about it, but most people, when we set them, we close them. Oh, you know what? I really appreciate that you don't let me fail.
Yeah.
So we're not bugging people. We don't let them fail because people on some bullshit, man. People on some bullshit. They say they want to get this shit done, that they really need to get done, but then life get in the way, their
Yeah.
wife get mad, this and that. They forget about you. They don't give a shit. You're that guy. They will forget about you and call the competition if you don't stay in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for coming on, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, bro.
Mhm.
You know I'm a hustler, hustler. You know I'm a hustler, hustler.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you find this episode helpful or if it changed your life in a positive way in any manner, please share with another friend, tell another friend about this podcast, or even contact me if you're a construction business owner that have a great story to tell. Please do contact me. Again, thank you. Until next time.
I see 'em on the gram while they flexing rubber bands. I'm working on my foreign exchanges.